that Frances was getting ready to unmute herself. All right.
Yes, I was.
Okay, here we go. Speaker view. All right. Zoom has changed their format. And let's go ahead and go into gallery view here. All right, got to share my screen. Oh, why should I share my screen? It already was being shared, wasn't it? Okay, all right, so everybody can see my screen, right? Okay, now I'm back where I need to be. Okay, so everybody sees my screen, building belief in the power of natural solutions. All right, everybody can see me okay? If you cannot, just please let me know. And we do have folks on this Zoom that can answer any questions if you want to put them in the chat. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to hold off the questions until the end of class. And then, of course, you know, we've got our little giveaway. But what I am giving away, hang on one second, somebody else is trying to get in. Okay, what I am giving away today is it's a essentials. It's a simple solutions, and it's a little guide. And what it does is it gives a lot of information on different health conditions. It talks about what essential oils are. It's just a real nice little guide to have. And so I'm giving 2 of those away at the end of class. And let me go ahead and mute once again. Okay. All righty, here we go. All right, so building the belief in the power of natural solutions. I thought this picture was so pretty, and I just thoroughly enjoy building PowerPoints. And so, of course, okay, here we go. All right, so most people that are on this call or on this Zoom, we have chosen actively to, you know, to engage in a more holistic, natural way to approach, you know, health and wellness. And so, you know, as we do choose to engage in this type of a lifestyle, one of the things that we understand is, you know, that we have a lot of possibilities to not just to, you know, to listen to whatever we're being told by, you know, whether it's, you know, doctors or, you know, those that are in the healthcare, which is good. I mean, they've got, you know, excellent advice. But one of the things that we understand is that we can actually partner in our own healthcare. And so as we understand with doTERRA, the meaning of doTERRA means gift of the earth. And that's one thing that we understand is that we've literally been given by God, we've been given these gifts with whether it's the trees or the flowers or the roots. We've got these natural solutions that we can actually use to provide for ourselves and to actually enhance our physical, our mental, and even our emotional health. And so, you know, as we personally experience these things, you know, we feel very compelled to share about it. And that's the whole reason why I do what I do, is because I do feel compelled to share about, you know, these natural solutions that they've benefited me personally, and many people that I know have actually been benefited by these natural solutions, and of course the essential oils. And as we experience them, as we use them, we will understand why we should continue to use them. And so sometimes it's just as simple as just, you know, just using the oils. And then you understand why you want to continue using the oils. And so, so envision life where it's actually simple to find the solutions that we need, right? All we need is a good reference guide and a box of doTERRA essential oils. Of course, understanding that they're certified pure therapeutic grade, which is the reason that we choose doTERRA over any other essential oil on the planet because they are certified pure therapeutic grade. They have withstood the rigorous testing that no other essential oil goes through. doTERRA willingly puts these oils through these testing. Why? Because they want to be able to say and to ensure that what they are offering to the world is certified pure therapeutic grade. And just to let everybody know, this is a standard actually that doTERRA has created. Okay, and so this certified pure therapeutic grade is a stamp that no other oil can use but doTERRA. Okay, so knowing that we have these wonderfully beneficial and pure therapeutic grade essential oils at our fingertips, we are able to properly address at least 80% of our health priorities. Okay, and we're going to talk about a few of them. And, you know, some of the slides that I have today are very interesting. I was very pleased to have been able to find them. And I think you'll also like them as well. So for the times when you need that support from a specialist, whether it be a doctor or a nurse practitioner or any type of a practitioner, one of the things that we want to look for is we want to find practitioners who actually also believe in the benefit of natural solutions. Okay, because there's a lot of practitioners out there that do not believe that natural solutions are beneficial for us. And so, you know, that's something that, you know, we do want to find those that that do believe in these with us. Now, as dependence on prescription opioid medications, okay, now we're mostly talking about, you know, pain relievers, but there's even opioids that are actually prescribed for mental conditions. Okay, so as dependence on these medication reaches an alarming high, many people suffering from these conditions like chronic pain or chronic anxiety, they're actually seeking relief from safer, natural home remedies such as essential oils. And that's the beautiful part about the oils. And, you know, I can't stress enough how that the essential oils literally act upon the limbic system within our brain, starting with the olfactory bulb it's nestled deep above the sinuses and within the sinuses, above our nose and beyond our eye sockets. There's an olfactory bulb. And what that is it's got many nerve endings there. And it directly, the fragrances, the things that we smell, act very quickly on that olfactory or the olfaction system and the olfactory bulb, and it acts upon the brain immediately. It is the quickest way actually to get essential oils into our nervous system. As a matter of fact, that's the only place where the nervous system opens to the environment, is in that olfactory bulb. So aromatherapy, or the use of essential oil, literally dates back to thousands of years. Now, last week we talked a lot about frankincense. Literally, the frankincense trade goes back to biblical times, where, you know, we actually can read about it even in the Bible. And it's so interesting. Why were these oils so important? I was just reading, going through the book of Ezekiel right now, and I was just reading, it was talking about cassia, and an absolutely wonderfully smelling oil. And we have it. We have cassia oil. Of course, they didn't have the same methods of distilling the oils, and so they used it in a whole different form, oftentimes back then. But we've got these oils in a very concentrated, very powerful form that we can actually enjoy. It's literally at our fingertips now. And so today, the practice of aromatherapy has evolved into a $12 billion global business. That's a lot. This industry is absolutely huge. And so even more for us to understand that with an industry as large as this, there are a lot of unscrupulous practices. And here's an example. My daughter Chanel, we've been talking. She's just really interested in learning how to make candles. And so I bought her, it was at Walmart. It was just a candle making kit. I just gave it to her actually right before I came up to Minnesota. And so she sent me some pictures of the candles that she made. And she said, Mom, she said, it really doesn't smell very much. And I said, look at that. That's exactly what we say to people. Because they had these little, and it wasn't even called essential oils. I think they called it a fragrance oil. And so she put these essential oils in the candles, and very interesting, for her to have, noted that there's really very little smell. This is actually what you're finding at the grocery stores when you purchase, and they even call themselves essential oil. When you open up a bottle of the peppermint that you might buy at Walmart, and you open up a bottle of doTERRA's peppermint, there is no comparison. I mean, you literally can tell at just the first smell that there is something different about these oils. And I think that's actually a very good example of what I was just saying, is that there is a lot of practices that it's just not good. They're adding all these fillers and all these chemicals and all these things to the oils. And that's why they're saying don't take them internally, because they're adding, all these things to the oils. And to me, I thought it was just a beautiful example firsthand. And, out of her innocency, she just said that. She was like, Mom, it doesn't really, I think one was maybe jasmine, and the other was, I think they called it sweet orange. And, I mean, it's of no surprise to me that she would have actually have said that. So anyway, essential oils are a fantastic way to help with a myriad of issues such as sleeplessness. That is such a big issue with people today. People are having a hard time falling asleep, but the essential oils are a very good way to help with that. Essential oils help with nausea. They help with anxiety, allergies, and pain. As a matter of fact, I was just talking with her name is Leah, and she was talking about how that her daughters were having some issues falling asleep, and her daughter didn't even realize why she was able to sleep better. And her mom said it. We were sitting around the table, and her mom said, yeah, it was because I'm diffusing lavender. And she said, oh, that's the reason why? And her mom was like, yeah, like you didn't know. I just thought it was really interesting. And then what about pain? Pain is one of the biggest issues that affect people today, whether it's headaches, whether it's back pain, whether it's muscles, whether it's joints, fibromyalgia, all the different types of arthritis that are out there. You can actually find natural solutions for pain. And I tell people it's as easy as a cheap bottle of lemongrass, right? We know that lemongrass is very, very inexpensive, but it is very effective in taking care of joint pain. You couple that with some deep blue over top of it, the deep blue rub, and you have got yourself a very effective pain remedy right there. All right, so what are essential oils? So for thousands of years, we've heard people talk about the medicinal effect that some plants have. And it has indeed been an important topic when we think about plants. Essential oils are derived from plants, and yet they've been around for over thousands of years. They've also been mentioned, like I was just saying, in the Bible for medicinal and healing purposes. But what are they, right? They're volatile aromatic compounds that are extracted from flowers, from seeds, from bark, from roots, and other parts of the plants. They're highly concentrated. So in other words, they're concentrated nutrients from the plants, and they're extracted through steam distillation or cold pressing. So that's the way that we actually extract the oils from the plants or from the bark or from the roots. And so when you think about it, this is all the protective, wonderful parts of the plants. When you look at trees, and some trees have been around for hundreds of years, right? they've got to have something that's actually in that tree to protect them, to actually be able to sustain all the environmental threats, whether it's weather, or it could be pests, such as maybe the beetle. There's beetles that literally try to bore holes into the trees, or they eat the leaves, or whatever it might be. And so they've got to have some way to protect themselves. Well, welcome you to the world of essential oils. So they're actually, the way that we get these oils, we actually extract them from the bark and the resin and the seeds and the flowers and all of those parts of the plant. And they are the best option in holistic care as a natural way to keep our family and our household healthy, right? They have no toxic chemicals. That's the beautiful part of essential oils. Unlike those essential oils that I was talking to you about from Walmart or whatever, where they say, do not take these internally. They have to have something in there that our body could be viewed as a toxic chemical. So we don't want to just use any essential oil. We want to use the oils that have that CPTG stamp on each bottle. That's what you're going to get from doTERRA. All righty, and I thought that this was interesting because it not only shows the different plant parts that are distilled, but it also actually shows you a real life distillation. This is a little, this could be in Haiti, this could be in Madagascar, this could be in Nepal. And so this distillation is actually there on site, so that we're actually, when we harvest, or when doTERRA harvest, they actually are put in there at the source, right? And so we actually have the best. It's not like, they ship these things thousands of miles and it takes weeks to get there or whatever. No, it's actually at the point of harvesting that the distillation is actually done. All right, so the CPTG, once again, I do want to just make sure that I highlight this. There's 8 tests that are each ran during distillation, production, and packaging to certify that there are no added fillers, no synthetics or synthetic ingredients, and no harmful contaminants in their oils that would reduce their efficacy. That's the reason that when you look on the side of your bottle of essential oils, not all, some essential oils are not supposed to be taken, whether it's a hardwood like arbor vitae or cypress or something like that. There are some that we should not be taking internally. However, most of the essential oils should be able to be taken internally. And that's where you'll find right on the side of the essential oil bottle, it will say supplement facts. That right there is your cue that that oil is 100% safe to be taken internally. So on to the class. Nature. Nature is my medicine. So I really liked this. It's actually a chart, and there's going to be about 3 or 4 slides that have what the actual fruit or the flower, and look at this. You've got cedar wood that, it's a tree. You've got clary sage, which is a flower. You've got bergamot, which is a fruit. To me, it's beautiful to actually see the original state that this essential oil was in prior to distillation. So you've got bergamot. It kind of looks almost like a green orange, but look at it. It's pungent, it's fresh, and it's green. That's the smell. And what does bergamot do? Well, I can tell you that bergamot I use often in my nighttime essential oil diffuser blends. Why? Well, you can see right here. It's good for relaxation. Clary sage, which is an unbelievably wonderfully smelling oil. It's also very, very good for hormonal issues. It's very, very beneficial for any kind of female problem. doTERRA actually has a blend, and it's called Clary Calm. And it's something that, it's a monthly blend. You would use it, during that time of the month, but it's an absolutely wonderfully smelling oil. But it's good for relaxation, for calming, for stress, stress relief, and it's very good for warming. It's a beautiful floral type of aroma. It's absolutely, if you haven't smelled it yet, you're definitely missing out. It's a beautiful smell. And then of course, cedar wood, which is one of the hardwoods, very good for calming and stress. Now, as you notice, a lot of these are going to be good for stress. A lot of the essential oils are good for maybe anxious times, for anxiety, times maybe where, the stress is high. And why? Why is that? Well, remember we were talking about the limbic system and how that the olfactory bulb literally has that direct connection to our brain. Well, where does stress and anxiety start? Well, it starts right there in the brain. So it would be you could understand how that to relieve stress, to relieve anxiety, it would also start right there in the brain. So look at cedarwoods, calming, stress relief, restful sleep. It's good for the circulatory system, good for clear airways, especially as we come to the time where a lot of people have, they've got sinus issues going on. They're coming down with colds and flus and different things. Very, very good to clear the airways. Geranium, which is unbelievably wonderful smelling flower. And it's got those mint undertones. And, prior to putting the slideshow together, I was like, what? And so next time I open up my bottle of geranium, which is down in Georgia and I'm here in Minnesota, so I'm away from my bottle of geranium, but next time I open up my bottle, which is often, I'm going to, to try to see if I can't detect those mint undertones. But look what it's good for. Once again, relaxation and calming. It's good for your mood, to improve your mood. So very interesting. And here's ginger, fresh, woody, and spicy. I've been using ginger a lot more often in my diffuser blends, especially because they work very well for some of the fall type of blends in the diffuser. Very, very good for the digestive system. Grapefruit. Now I put grapefruit in my water all the time. And it's very, very good for detoxification. In the mornings, that should be the first thing that we do. Get a detox going every single morning. It's very, very good for helping to clear out our system. I usually put 2 drops of lemon and 2 drops of grapefruit in my water in the morning. Not only does it make the water taste so good, but it's also so very good in detoxifying, pulling those toxins out of our liver and expelling them from the body. It's a very, very powerful essential oil. Of course, we've got lavender. Lavender is, I often call it the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. It takes care of so many things. But here's a beautiful picture of what the lavender looks like. Once again, very good for sleep, very good for our mood, and very good for our skin. Lavender, matter of fact, I got a little burn. I was cooking some breakfast and my daughter has these cast iron skillets, which I never cook in cast iron. I absolutely love them, by the way. But, they hold their heat, and so I got a little burn and it was like, what, where'd I get that from? Of course I didn't put lavender on it because I'm away from home and I don't have everything, right at my fingertips here, but it's very, very good for burns. Lemon, uplifting, clarifying, and it is an astringent. But lemon is very, very good to prevent urinary tract infections, to prevent kidney stones. I use it for prevention. That's absolutely what my whole life is all about. I want to prevent being sick. I want to prevent being in pain. Yes, I'm getting old, but I do not have to deal with all the old age issues that I see that are just rampant in society today. Now, what about lemongrass? Absolutely strong and beautiful smell, lemongrass. If you've never smelled lemongrass, I suggest you take a whiff of it and it will knock your socks off. Absolutely, if you put this in a diffuser, you are going to smell it in any part of the house that you are in. It is very strong and it works very, very well as well. Again, it's a very good protocol. Kidney stones, for bladder infections, you can literally take lemongrass and rub it on your lower abdomen. You can rub it on the back where your kidneys are, and literally prevent all of those urinary tract problems. But look at also what it says: mental cleansing. Now that's something that you wouldn't you wouldn't think, okay, well, it can take care of urinary tract infections, but also help with mental issues. Very, very interesting the way that essential oils have such a comprehensive ability in so many different body systems. And here's lime. Now, who out there has used lime? I hope that everybody out there has a bottle of this in your essential oil box. Lime has got such, it's a unique flavor. It's a unique smell, but it's very uplifting and it's very refreshing. All righty, here we go. This is, I believe, the last slide with the actual graphics of what these oils, how before they were distilled, what they looked like. Patchouli. Now, whoever was wondering what patchouli looked like before it became the hippie oil, well, look at this. It almost looks like oregano leaf. Looks very similar to the peppermint leaf, as you see right under it. But it's very warm and earthy, and it's very heavy. Now, anybody who's ever smelled patchouli will agree to that. I know Frances, she literally loves patchouli. Me, I smell it and it's like, wow, that is a very strong oil. And so, different people, take to it in different ways. Patchouli is not my, my first choice in oils, but I've been putting it in my diffuser a lot more because it is very earthy, which a lot of the fall time diffusing blends call for earthy essential oils. Now, what about peppermint? Now, I use peppermint every time I take a shower. And where do I use it? On my hair. It gives, what it does is it's like a tingle. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling, actually, when you're washing your hair and you've got that. It's kind of like a tingly, fresh, clean. It's a very, very stimulating, but it's very good for your scalp. And so, you can try it. Rosemary as well. Very good for your hair. As a matter of fact, I made up a blend because I determined, actually, I don't like wearing makeup anymore. And as you can tell, I don't have a whole lot of eyelashes, but I just made up, I had to order the little bottles with it's like a mascara tube with the little brush. And what I did was I made up, it's for your eyelashes, and I put rosemary and a few other different oils and some FCO. And I can give you the recipe if anybody's interested. And what I do is I just brush it on my eyelashes, and I just started it. So I'll have to, give you a before and after as to, what it actually did. But I know my daughter said that she loves it for her eyelashes. She literally just takes a little bit on her fingers and just pulls it into her eyelashes, and also on your eyebrows as well, because it's very, very good to promote hair growth. Okay, so if anybody's got thinning hair, rosemary is the oil that you might want to try. Get it into your shampoo, or you can just put a drop or two on the crown of your head when you're all done in the shower, and just leave it alone and let it sit. And it will actually just diffuse, actively diffuse into your scalp. All right, then we've got orange. Orange is an unbelievably wonderfully smelling essential oil, and it's in actually the On Guard blend, which if you do not use On Guard, this would definitely be the time of year that you should be using On Guard. I've been using On Guard pretty much daily through this COVID crisis. As a matter of fact, I actually apply it to my lymphatic system. Now, what is your lymphatic system? Your lymphatic system is the system that you got when you are sick. Why? Because things swell up in your neck, in your armpits, you have what it does is that is where the fight is on when you are sick. Okay. And it's an unbelievably, I don't want to go into all the sciencey, with it, but what I do is I actually rub the On Guard along my lymphatic system. And as a matter of fact, there was one time that I was coming down with something. I had my grandson, two of my grandsons, and one of them, he was coming down with a cold, and I was starting to get something too, but I kept on using that On Guard, and it never really got, terribly bad to where it actually took me down. And so that's a very nice thing about the essential oils, is that it has the ability to prevent you from being sick, and then also to lessen the duration of when you do come in contact with something that's trying to compromise your immune system. All right, tangerine. Now, tangerine's kind of a little rare for essential oils. Probably most of you that are on the Zoom do not have tangerine. Tangerine is a wonderfully tasting, wonderfully smelling essential oil. Very light citrus with a slight hint of a tang. All right, but look at what it does. Cheering and energizing, clearing the mind and balancing. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell, and it does beautiful things to our bodies. What about tea tree? Has anybody ever wanted to know what tea tree looked like? All right, Melaleuca, tea tree. It's got a very sharp camphor-like, and it almost has a little spice to it. It's very strong, actually, the smell, because I know I put it on my face, but I have to be careful if I put it on neat. Now, when I say that word neat, that means I did not dilute it at all. There's no fractionated coconut oil at all in there. When I put it on neat, and if I get it too close to my eyes are telling me, woo, that's a strong oil. But it's very, very good for burns. It's very, very good for deodorizing. It's actually got antibacterial qualities in it. And it's a wonderful, it's an oil that is actually in our foundation oil kit, and rightfully so. This is an oil that should be in your medicine cabinet. And then, of course, ylang ylang. I always talk about ylang ylang. It's probably my favorite flower in the whole world. It is grown, it is harvested, it is distilled on an island off of the coast of South Africa called Madagascar. And that is someplace I would really like to visit. I would actually like to be a part of the harvesting of the ylang ylang flower, because I could only imagine what those women are actually smelling when they're harvesting this beautiful oil. The ylang ylang flower. This oil smells unbelievably beautiful. It's got an exotic smell to it, and it's just a beautiful smell. You can actually put this oil on your face. It's very, very good for blemishes, for skin issues, and it's very, very soothing, not only to your skin, but also to your mind. All right, oops, I'm sorry. All right, so wanted to just talk, we're getting close to the end of the class, but I just wanted to just take care of a little of the housekeeping with the essential oils. So there's going to be a couple of slides that I run through that I want everybody to understand that this is where you're going to get your information. Okay, your reference guide. Okay, now I could not live without my essential life. When people call me, and many of you are actually on this call now that have, different times called and, hey, what about an essential oil for this? Or, hey, what about an essential oil for that? As you see, the Essential Life book is my go-to reference. Everybody should have this in your home, but you can also get the Essential Life reference on your cell phone. Okay, and it's way cheaper actually than purchasing the book. So if anybody has any questions about that, you can ask. But it's a very good reference for, whatever, if we, maybe we got a burn, or, maybe we have a urinary tract infection, or maybe, we're dealing with high blood pressure, or whatever it would be, maybe dandruff, or maybe an ear infection, or there's all these different, things that we might be dealing with. And this is a go-to reference guide to find solutions as they come up. Okay, so you don't have to know it all. You don't have to store it all in your brain. You've got it right there, in book form, or you can have it as an app on your phone. Different oils work for different people. So that's very important to understand. If you use an oil and you don't get the results that you desire, there are different oils that you can try. And so it is important to know that, just because you're not getting the desired results from this particular oil does not mean that the solution is not out there somewhere. Okay. And here's a perfect example. So I used to suffer from migraines. Okay. Of course, that was before I've, utilized the essential oils in my life. I used to suffer from migraines all the time. Well, people used to say, oh, try this, and oh, try that. I know that there's a blend and it's called past tense. And so I tried it. There's other oils like peppermint. And I've tried all of those. That is not what worked for my migraines. Okay. For me, my first oil of choice would be deep blue. That's the way my body responds. Okay. So, just to understand that just because we don't get relief from a particular oil does not mean that relief is not out there. Okay. We just have to find the one that's going to use, or that's going to work for us. Okay. And we're going to address any questions that anybody might have on any of this content. We're going to address it here in just a minute. Massaging. When you massage the oil into your skin, it actually promotes rapid absorption, okay, which is very, very beneficial. And then there are many different application methods. You can put them under your tongue as the sublingual route. You can put them on the bottom of your feet. You can put them down your spine. You can put them to the roof of your mouth, on your thumb, and apply it to the roof of your mouth. You can diffuse it. There are so many ways that you can actually get these oils into your body. All right, safety. We do want to be very careful with the oils getting into our eyes, with the oils getting into your nose, and with the oils getting into your ears. Now, since I said that, one of the things that I've been learning is just because you do have to be careful and utilize safety protocol does not mean that you cannot use the oils in these ways. You just have to be very, very careful, and you have to make sure that you follow a careful protocol with them. Because I'm going to tell you something, if you get these essential oils into your eyes, and anybody who's been using these oils for any length of time probably have gotten them into their eyes. And so my advice is to cry it out, right? Because the tears actually flush the oils out. Okay, but Melaleuca or tea tree is actually an oil that is actually in some ophthalmologic compounds and solutions. So it doesn't mean that you cannot put these oils in your eyes. You just have to be very careful to follow proper protocol when you do use them. Okay. If you do put them on your skin and you do get a reaction, a little bit of FCO, fractionated coconut oil, will help not only for absorption, but also to lessen the severity maybe of that oil. It might be a hot oil such as cassia or oregano, or it could just be an oil that does at different times promote sensitivity, such as peppermint. Okay, so then there are some oils that that when you use them in the evening time rather than in the morning time when you're putting them on your skin. Okay, and these would be some of the the oils like lemon or wild orange or bergamot, the citrus type fruity oils. So you do want to be careful if you're going to put them on your skin and then you're going to go out and be out in the sun for any length of time, which of course at this time of the year, we're much less likely to run into problems with that. However, you do just have to be careful with that because it could promote photosensitivity with our skin, and we could get a sunburn as a result of it. So just be careful. If you're going to use these oils on your skin, to use them at night or after you come out of the sun. Best practices with the oils. So you want to keep your oils at their best by avoiding the extreme temperatures, avoiding direct sunlight with your oils. As you notice, these oils are in a dark bottle for that reason. All right. Use glass containers with the oils as they can break down some plastics over time. That is not to say, though, that there are not some plastics that if you were to make a mixture of oils, there are certain plastics that you actually can put them in. One, understanding that you're not putting a 100% power into those plastics, but you are diluting them with fractionated coconut oil. Okay, so certain plastics are able to tolerate the oils. All right, so understanding that the oils from doTERRA are very potent. Okay, and you only need a small amount. Okay, so less oftentimes is just as good as using more, and you can actually just waste your oils by using too much. All right, 1 to 3 drops is usually a dosage when it comes to essential oils, especially if you're going to be using them internally. Alrighty, living the wellness lifestyle. So you've got proactive medical care, you've got informed self-care, you've got to reduce your synthetic exposure, your toxins, you've got your rest and your management, you've got your exercise, and you've got your eating. This is the pyramid that we should live by. All right, you can take a snapshot of this if you'd like, but there are many oils that would actually help us to maintain this type of a lifestyle. And it's called the wellness lifestyle. This is preventative, proactive healthcare. Eating right, giving your body what it needs, and it will thrive. But it starts with our nutrition, of course. And that's where doTERRA supplements are very beneficial. You've got the Lifelong Vitality, you've got the Terrazyme, you've got the PB Assist, and then you also have your A to Z in the chewables for the kids, or for those that are adults that cannot tolerate swallowing pills. And there are some adults that cannot tolerate chewing the pill, or I'm sorry, swallowing the pills, or maybe you have a lot of stomach issues. Well, you can try the A to Z chewables. There's 2 ways that I always suggest to getting these oils into your home. You've got the Healthy Start Kit, which is going to give you the 10 top foundation oils, such as On Guard, which is very good for immune support, Breathe, which is very good for clearing your airways, very good for getting a good night's sleep, Digest Zen, which is good for everything digestion, Deep Blue, which is very good for pain, Peppermint, which again is very good for pain or tension, Lemon, very good for cleansing, very good for any type of detoxification that you would want to do, Lavender, very good for calming, all things calming, very good for the skin, very good for sleep, very good for your mental state. Tea tree, which is, like I say, just very good once again for antibacterial issues, as well as oregano. Oregano is very good for our immune support. Then you've got your frankincense, which, as we talked about last week, that's all we talked about last week, right? Was frankincense, the king of the oils. Literally, any condition, any issue is going to be able to be addressed with frankincense. Healthy Essentials Kit, which are those same oils, except for they are 3 times larger. And they substitute with 3 very, very awesome oils. One is copaiba, the other is balanced, and the other is adaptive. If you know anybody that deals with anybody who's got ADHD, this would definitely be an oil that would be very good. It's very good for autism. And the adaptive line, there's actually a couple different other parts of the adaptive line, but this oil is very, very good to diffuse. And we've got ways that you can also take it internally. You get it on your skin. So adaptive is very, very helpful. And that is the end of my class. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.